Hey guys, Once a GP here, and today I'm going to be talking about 7 things that I had no idea of before becoming Enthusiast. So starting off the list at number 1 is that there are different types of coasters. Before becoming an enthusiast, I'm sure everybody, including myself, just called everything a coaster. I mean, everything was either a coaster that you sat down in, that you laid down in, all of that stuff. But there are actually a lot of different types of coasters, if you didn't know. I mean, there are so many. There are things like suspended, inverted, boomerangs, impulses, gigas, hypers, flying, all of that stuff. Those are all different types of coasters, and I just had no idea that the coaster industry was so diverse. And there are new types and models of coasters unveiled at IAAPA every year, and it's crazy how there have been coasters that have went out of style, such as the stand-up coasters. I mean, those are almost completely extinct, and then you've got even more coming in, and it's just crazy how much the scene is able to change and be versatile depending on the year and the location and all that. It's so varied. It's crazy. Coming in at number 2 is the amount of manufacturers. So me being me, I thought each park built their own coasters, or they were all kind of built by the same company, but there's not. There are a bunch of different ones. There's Vekoma, B&M, S&S, RMC, Intamin, GCI, Gravity Group, and there are some that are extinct like Aero. It's gone through so many progressions, and the amount of manufacturers is bound to change. There are bound to be more that go out of business and more that just become bigger. I'm excited to see the future of the manufacturers. It's a far cry from me thinking that they're all built in-house. Number 3 is kind of weird because it kind of seems obvious, but to me, this was a huge revelation, and it's that there are so many different parks. Me being in Ohio, I knew there was Kings Island and Cedar Point. Then I knew there was Disney World, which I thought was one park, not 5. Disneyland, and then I knew there was Universal, which I thought was one park. And I knew there was a Six Flags. I didn't know there were multiple. I thought it was just one place called Six Flags. That's so wrong. That is so very wrong. So it turns out Kings Island and Cedar Point, as many of you know, is part of a bigger chain called Cedar Fair, and they own a bunch of parks across the country. Six Flags, and they're another company, and they own a bunch of parks around the world. Disney, and they own a few parks around the world. Universal has a few parks, and there are random parks such as Kennywood, Dollywood, Silver Dollar City, random places all over the place, and that's wonderful. That's crazy. I had no idea how many places there were. And that makes a lot more sense now, how people can have like 400 plus credit. Number 4 is kind of weird, but the term GP. Before becoming an enthusiast, I didn't know there was a term for what I was. I thought it was just people. And turns out I wasn't. I wasn't people. When I started to become an enthusiast, I had heard the term GP, and I could tell what it meant by context clues. It was the people who weren't enthusiasts. And then Coaster Studios made a video that kind of went over some of the enthusiast terms, and GP is one of them, and that's where I learned what GP stood for, General Public. So now I use that term GP when talking about basically a lot of things, and it's even part of my channel. I use it when I'm talking to and about my girlfriend, so I use it a lot. Number 5 is the size of the community. So before becoming an enthusiast, I thought it was a very weird thing to be a part of. I know people enjoyed them. I didn't know there was a whole community behind it. And now that I'm part of this coaster community, I see that it is a much bigger thing than I could have ever imagined. I mean, Coaster Studios has 156,000 subscribers. Airtime Thrills has 27,000 subscribers. GP2 Enthusiast has 23,000 subscribers. Coaster Daddy has 2.1 thousand subscribers. The subreddit has 47,000 members. There are just so many people. There's so many more that I didn't even mention. There's theme park information. There's theme park crazy. Theme park media, there's OK Coasters, there's El Toro Orion. There's so many people that I watch like almost every day, and it's crazy, and it's so nice because now that we're on quarantine, I can wake up and there be like 3 or 4 new videos just of coasters that I can watch, and that's crazy. I never thought something so niche would be so popular, and yet it is, and I'm having the time of my life. Number 6 probably should have went a little bit before, but that's okay. It's the number of elements and the types of elements that there are on coasters. Before becoming an enthusiast, I thought that there were loops, and that was it. That's all I thought there was. That's very wrong. That's very, 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 very wrong. CoasterBot has an amazing video that talks about all these different types of elements, and he doesn't even list all of them at all, and all the ones that he does list have inverted counterparts, and there's so many more. It's crazy how varied coasters can be, not only in the manufacturer, not only in the type of coaster, not only where, but also what they include. So that's crazy. Last but not least is how lucky I am to live where I am. I live right in the middle of Ohio, in Columbus, in between Cedar Point and Kings Island, so I'm very fortunate to be able to live where I am and have these 2 top tier parks right the same distance from me, whereas a lot of other people, their home parks, either too top heavy or are not very strong at all. And I'm lucky enough to say that I have two of the best parks in my home state. So that is going to be all for my video. If you guys have any questions, or if you guys have anything that you didn't know before becoming enthusiasts, let me know, because I'm more than willing to learn something else, because I still have a lot to learn and I love learning. And I will 100% respond, because I have nothing else to do besides make videos, watch videos, and respond every day. So that is it for me. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.